Hey Colton, this is going to be a nunchuck class. Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be going through some nunchucks. I'm going to let you know off the bat that it's going to be a great class. We're going to review everything that we did over the last nunchuck month. So I know technically it starts a new day today, but I just wanted to finish things off with a little bit of a bang. So today we're just going to review all our tricks, and then at the end I'm going to show you a toss. Yeah, the one thing I've been avoiding, the one thing I didn't talk about yet. Now, I do want to let you know, if you are in an environment where you can't toss or you can't do things, my suggestion is take things slowly and adjust accordingly. With all that being said, we're going to get started soon here. Please let me know if the sound is all right or if everything looks okay. I know I've changed the locations a couple of times, but today we're starting on the main floor because we're going to get some classes started. So come to the classes later and we'll have quite a bit of fun. With that being said, let's get going. By the way, it's good to see Carter, the Kimmett's here, Nicole's here, and Nicole, give it time. Your belt will come, trust me. Miss Allie, could you do me a favor and shut that back door for me? Yeah. The garage door? Thank you, ma'am. All right, well, let's get started. Let's get started with some simple tricks. Circles. Again, we're going to kind of review everything, but our goal is to kind of go faster. Go faster. So if this is your first class doing nunchucks and you missed the nunchucks month, stick around the best you can. I'll give you an easy, medium, hard version. Always go with the easy version. All right, and backwards. There we are, okay. So remember, backwards is towards your nose. So your easy version will always be with your shoulders. And it's okay if it's a little bit sloppy. Your medium version is going to be with your elbows. And if you got this down, you should only be spinning with your wrists. Meaning that your arms are pretty much locked and you're here. Nice. Now if I go sideways, there. Notice how they're spinning at the same speed. That's your goal. All right. So now we're going to move forward. We're going to do on our shoulder, tuck under. Easy. 1, 2. And just getting good used to this. Medium would be this. 1, spin it a whole bunch of times. Tuck and catch. When you're ready, spin it backwards, up, and go back and forth. And finally, we're going to go, oh, can you guys not hear me? It says that I'm talking and it's moving. But if you can't hear me, let me know. Let me know. Just tell me that you can't. But on my screen, it says that I'm talking. I'll turn it up a little bit to see if that will help you out. And then the hard way. So you guys have gotten going with this. Hard way being, 1 spin, 1 spin. I know what you're thinking. Why is 1 spin the hard way and not a lot of spins is the hard way? Because a lot of spins give you time to think and adjust, right? So when you're going here and you're spinning, you can really take your time to figure out when you want to tuck. When you have 1, you have to do it fast. This tends to be a lot harder than that. Also, hello rhythm, hello rhythm. So Sean is saying he can't hear me. Try turning it up on your screen. Everybody let me know if you're in chat right now, if you can hear me. Because right now, I can see that you are here. But I want to make sure that you guys can hear me as well. It says I'm talking. I'm not sure if that's applicable. All right. So now once you got that down, we're doing this. If you can't hear me, just do what I'm doing here. 1, 2. I know you're not hearing me say, just do what I'm doing, but still. All right. Yeah, it says my microphone is moving. Let me make sure it's the right microphone. Sometimes that causes problems. It says it's the right microphone. I can unmute that too. I mean, I'm not sure how much that helped you. It says that most people can hear me. So Sean, I think there's something wrong with your screen. All right, so now let's move on to our next one. Like I said, today we're gonna go through this rather fast. Today's class will be a little bit shorter than most. So we went through here. Now we're going to move on to our figure 8s. Now if you want to take this slow, do 1 figure 8 with 1 hand, do it a couple times, catch, other hand. If you have that down well, you want to do both figure 8s. If you got that down well, you're going to do your non-competing, your together figure 8s, moving at the same time. If you got that well, cross like this. There you are. Nice, and if you got that well, you got your double. So that's us warming up a little bit. Some of us may not be here today. That's fine. We worked a lot on that last week, right? You don't have to do it right now. But go through it each time. It says Nicole. Nicole, you can't, and Sean, you can't. Yeah, the sound I knew was going to be a little bit off. Master Loft, could you open up the stream for me and see if you can hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. With a big room It tends not to have sound as well unless it's literally coming off of a microphone. So hopefully I'll get one of those microphones soon. If you are waiting, do your figure eights, figure eight, or double figure eights, or together figure eights. If you are struggling with any of these, remember, do it with just your shoulders, right? Just your shoulder figure eight, then do your elbows, then do your wrists, right? Now, if you're working on double figure eight, same thing. You use your shoulders, elbows, wrists. The whole goal is to work your way up, work your way up. By the way, Colton, this belt is for everyone. But that's why I'm giving you things. If you're new to nunchucks, you should just be doing a figure eight right now, right? Just with one hand. Use your whole shoulders, draw a sideways eight. Make it sloppy, I don't care. This is all about you warming up.
Sounds great.
It sounds great?
Yeah.
Okay, it seems like there may be a problem with a couple of people's screens.
Yeah.
So try turning up your headphones, turning up your speakers.
Yeah.
Also make sure we're not muted on YouTube. Now, if you want to work on this one's going to be hard no matter what. If you weren't here last week, you probably shouldn't do this type of figure eight yet. You're not quite there yet, and that's fine. That's fine. All right. All right. So, you did some figure eights. You did some spins. Now, let's work on some of our strikes. Let's start off with the basic 7 strike, okay? So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you're going back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, if you're struggling with this, look at me. Bring your nunchuck rope to your hip. So you're bringing it to your hip. Bring it to your opposite hip, then throw it on your shoulder. So hip, hip, shoulder. Then do it the other one. Hip, hip, shoulder. And go back and forth working on this. Hip, hip, shoulder, hip, hip, shoulder. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, as you do this, I want you to speed it up faster and faster until eventually you're going as fast as you can. I typically hit across the second this hip is coming up. So when this one is coming up, that's when I replace it. So I'm pretty much just replacing, so one nunchuck is always moving. Oh my goodness, my uniform is not as tight as it normally is. All right. Now, keep going, work on this. If you have this down, let me show you one more thing that I would like you to try out. Your stances. So go do a front stance, and then as it shifts, as you come down, go into a front stance that way. Then as you go down here, shift. This is just a simple way to get working on some nunchuck moves. We got some strikes there. Now I'm going to show you a couple more strikes. I think I've been over this, but it may have been a little bit. My voice is breaking up. Ooh, okay. That's what I wanted to hear. I figured sound was going to be interesting in this room. So let's try to listen the best you can. Let me see if I can bring my microphone closer to me, and maybe that will help some. Keep doing your strikes. Ooh. Now the microphone is literally at my feet, so you should be able to hear it a bit better. My voice went up quite drastically on that one. All right, so now helicopter strike. We're bringing it above our head and around. I think I've shown this to you guys before. If I haven't, let me break it down. I'm here. If I want to, I can catch my other one and not use it for the time being. All I'm going to do is take my thumb. So you know how we have our thumbs up? Take my thumb, lift it to the ceiling. Now I'm going to bring it around my head. Remember, if we don't have it down, we use our shoulder. If we have it down better, we use our elbow, and eventually we'll use our wrist, which should be our final form. So if you're struggling with this, bring it around your head with your shoulder. Ugh. Now you're only going to do one. So I go around once, and then I bring it to my hip. So I'm going to go once to my hip. Once, hip. Now if I got that done, I'm going to use just my elbow. Once, hip. Once, hip. If I got that down, just my wrist. See how my wrist is just pointing to the sky, and I'm circling it that way, and not like this. Oh, your speaker's not working, Nicole. That's what I wanted to see. Sometimes when the sound's not working, it may be on your end. That's why I ask you guys. Since we're in a new environment, I'm getting a lot of feedback. This is kind of like our test stream to see how classes will be running tonight. All right, so we got that down. Try it out a couple of times. 1, 2, 3. Try it with your other hand. 1, 2, 3. If you don't have it down yet, use your shoulder. It's okay if it looks super sloppy, because you're getting the motion down. Once you get it down, elbow, and then your wrist. Woo. All right. So we're revealing everything. If you're new here, this is like your first nunchuck class, right? You may be thinking, Master Nick, you're going way too fast. Go back and watch some of the other classes, or just try your best for the time being. We'll move into a new drill. Today's stream is just to recap, to review what we've done over the past several weeks. So if you're an advanced nunchuck person, even if you missed the other classes, you may be able to pick this up almost instantly from me teaching it for 30 seconds. If it takes you more time, go watch the classes. I call out people in chat just like I am now, but in the same way, you guys, it's timeless, right? How these techniques are taught will be how I probably teach them in a couple years, maybe with different words. All right. Now we're going to move on to our, a little bit of a harder one. I say this for one of the last things that we do, just because it can be a bit difficult. Now, these are the things that I notice over the past several weeks people have struggled with the most. Ironically, people struggled with this move less than some of these considerably more basic moves. Inverse figure eights. So if you're struggling with this, well, if you have this down, go inverse figure eight on this side, whoop, inverse figure eight on this side. Just keep working on it. If you got it, do it at the same time. I'm so bad. Start with your shoulders. I'm just not used to this motion, right? 1, 2. That's why you start with your shoulders first. If your body's not used to doing this motion and you try to use your wrists, it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. Your nunchucks are going to get caught. Just get used to going here, and then when you start to use your elbows, it'll feel more used to it. And then when you do use your wrist, oh man, see, I need to start off. I'm still on elbows. It's okay to work on these things, but we're doing inverse figure eight. Nicole, don't worry, your belt is getting there. It's up to the post office, so I can't tell you when it's going to be there. But we have sent it out. So, now, we're going to work on, also keep doing your inverse figure eight. Let me teach this a little bit more for the people that are struggling. So take one nunchuck and spin it towards your head. You know how we did those inverse spins? We went like this, and then we stopped, we went like this. Go like this towards your head. Then once you got it spinning, stop it, move your thumb to the other side, and bring it towards your head again. Then go over here. Do a little bit less spins each time you do it. So I did 3 times, 1, 2, 3, 3 times. 2 times, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then 1, 1. And then combine them. 1, 1, 1, 1. And that's how you get your inverse figure eight. Right? A figure eight is nothing more than combining 2 spins in different directions. Or in the same direction. Different sides of your body. All right. Perfect. Now I'm going to do one more. This is going to be the advanced one. If you're struggling with this, do your best. Maybe go back to this. Maybe go back to something you know better. I'm going to go through it rather fast. We have our side figure eights. Here. So, side figure eights can be difficult. Can be very difficult. But let's break it down just like we did with the figure eight. Spin it towards your body so the nunchuck is going this way. It's almost like I'm stirring a gigantic pot of hot chocolate right here, right? Except I want to grab it closer to the string. And Colton, you know what? These are going to be kind of hard. This is your first nunchuck class. We'll do some things easier in a second here. I'm going to show you a brand new move. the tosses. And I will break that down slowly. So, spin the hot chocolate. It's okay if you use your shoulder and you get a little funky, but you have a spoon, you're spinning. You're good at it. Now, take it, spin a ceiling fan above you. I'm here. So you got your ceiling fan, and then here. One, ceiling fan. And then switch between the two. So you go 1, 2, 1, 2. Then, once you got that down, instead of doing, your 2 spins, you do 1 spin. 1 spin, 1 spin, 1 spin, 1 spin. And that's your motion, right? Get used to the motion first, and then you can speed it up. This is your inverse figure 8. Sorry. Yeah, this is your inverse figure 8. Your reverse figure 8 is here. I always mix those two wording up. Now, if you got that down, go with your other side. Other side. So see what I'm doing here? 1, 2. 1, 2. I'm going spin, 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 and then speed it up. If you don't have this side down, don't do the other side yet. Just work on this. If you don't have that down, just work on spinning this, getting it completely flat, then coming up here and spinning. Just get used to these two things. The whole thing is we get to here, right? We get to this speed. But if we try to start out here, we're going to struggle and we're not going to do it. We take our time, we take our steps. If this is your first nunchuck class, take it slowly. Don't expect you to go straight into here doing exactly what I'm doing. Just do a figure 8. Go back and watch some of those other classes. You can get quite good at it. Practice them each day, and eventually you'll come to the studio and you'll be doing hand twirls, triple spins, double inverse figure 8s. All right. Are you moving stuff? Yes, Miss Allie is moving some things around, getting prepared for classes tonight. That's why I have to end this stream a little bit early, because I have to prepare for that. But with that being said, now time for the piece of resistance, our toss. We're going to work on tossing things. Woo! Now, I have 2 tosses. 2 tosses. You have your toss this way, as you come around. Then you also have your toss off your side here. Now, there are actual names to this. I think it's like a lateral toss, something like that. What I call them is the UFO toss, because your nunchuck goes up like a UFO. And then I call the sun toss or the rainbow toss, because it's like the sun rising. It spins forward. Now we're going to break up into both of these. First, let's review our hand rolls so we can get to them a bit easier. Can you do it without a hand roll? Yes, but it can be quite difficult. So I'm going to just show you how you can go from a hand roll into a toss. There are other ways to do it. There are easier ways to do it, but those are the things we're working on. So let's start with our hand rolls real fast. Thumb up. Let your nunchuck be relaxed. Throw it over. Put your rope over here. Now let go. So your hand's there. Flip and grab. Go back and forth, just practicing this grab. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Once you got that, throw it, let go, grab, bring it back over. Then reset, do it again. Throw it over, grab, over. 1, 2, 3. Now once you got that down, speed it up. Once you got that down fully, go full speed. See if you can continue it into other tricks. But you should know, the only thing that I'm doing here is I'm pretty much only opening and closing my hands. I'm turning it sideways and then I catch. I let the nunchuck do the motion. If you guys are used to doing this, shh, and then you just speed up that motion, it still works. So go back and forth. If you got that down, use your left. Got that down. You can maybe try to do both at the same time. but just go back and forth working on these handles. 1, 2. Nice. All right. So like I said, we will get to a toss. I typically don't show tosses to people until they're black belts because it's difficult to do well. I don't believe you should toss a nunchuck until you can toss a nunchuck right. And I have vetoed so many tosses of weapons in my demo team classes because they don't know how to toss their weapon yet. They can throw their weapon, but they can't toss it. They don't know how to do the spins accompanied with it properly. So, we got this down. Now you can try your toss. Your hand roll is your wind up. So if you do it really slow, that's fine. If you go really fast, that's fine too. You're gonna wind it up, get to your thing, and then you're gonna go up, but instead of letting go and holding onto your hand and flip, you're gonna stop halfway and let it keep going. Oops, that was a mistake by me. So I roll. I'm gonna spin my hand like I'm gonna do the same thing, right? Except the second this nunchuck string is straight, I'm gonna let go. If you're in a house that is not good at tossing, just do a small one. Do a half flip. Here, so see how I'm just letting go and I'm kind of doing my hand roll, except the only difference is I'm not holding on to it anymore. I let go early and I catch. Half flip. 1. It's exactly like a hand roll with a bow. What you'll notice is every weapon is very similar when you do these moves. So I'm here, right? And I'm getting used to this half flip. My suggestion is, even if you don't have a low ceiling and you don't have something that you can break, just practice this half flip. Here. And you can do it the other way too. Here. I find doing it inverse is a lot easier for people because they're catching it regular. They're used to catching something like this. But when you do it regular, you have to kind of catch it inversed. All right, so if you got that down, you can speed it up. Let it go and let it spin 1 full rotation. 1. So 1 full rotation. You don't want it to spin 30 times if you can't catch 1, right? If you can't catch 1, then you shouldn't be spinning it more than a half. If you can't catch half, then you should be practicing your hand rolls, right? There's a progression to it. You don't just go straight into tossing. But if you can catch 1 full rotation, try 2 full rotations. So you don't have to do 1 1/2. You can go straight to 2. When you toss it, you're going to have to build up some speed. Woo, 1, 2. Oh, I missed that one. But you see what I did. Also, you should know you're using foam nunchucks without chains. I can catch chain nunchucks so much better than I can catch rope nunchucks. Rope nunchucks don't feel natural to me when I'm tossing them. They always feel so floppy, and even when I do it strict, it just doesn't catch the same, especially when it's not hard. It bounces off my hands. But hey, if you guys want to get good at nunchucks, you really like this past month, invest in some good nunchucks. Ones with chains. All right, so you got that. Maybe you got the other version too, where you catch and get inverse. Maybe you can go toss with regular, bam, 1. And then catch it, and then go back. We're getting this toss down. If you don't have any of that, you should just be practicing your hand rolls. Getting to the point where it looks like what I'm doing. Maybe not with the triple spin. Typically, I'll tell you, how I start all my tosses is, even on bow staff, even on commas, I always start it from a triple spin. But I'm going here, and then I whip it forward, so I go hand roll, all these ropes. I go hand roll, toss. Except I catch it. All right.
So I was thinking
Oh,
way to dispose of paint.
there's a lot of class stuff around her, so you may not be tossing right now.
Okay.
But if you don't, one second. Yeah, so, sorry, Kaylin. If you got a lot of class stuff, just do these half spins and get used to it. I'm grabbing it inverse, so my thumb is up. I'm spinning it around like I'm going to do my hand roll around, except I'm going to let go early when it's at about 45 degrees or 3 o'clock. let it spin half and catch. So I'm not doing all the way around, I'm just letting it go half, just like I would on my hand roll. There, I'm here, bam, 2. Just get used to that, right? You don't have to do these huge, wah, tosses. All right, so you guys are probably gonna mess around with that. I'm showing you this tosses as like the final thing on nunchucks, but what I want you to know is you probably won't get tosses down well yet. I still struggle with tosses with anything but chain nunchucks. I can't get the whip down fast enough to where I can control it. Tosses are difficult, especially with nunchucks, because it's not like a bow staff where you can kind of pull it off. If you don't do it well, it's very obvious. And it's hard to know what you're doing wrong. But let me give you a couple hints. If you're struggling with this, the things you're probably doing wrong usually comes down to the stuff before the toss. The toss is an indicator of what's happening before. Once you let go of the nunchuck, you're not controlling it. Anything you did wrong will show. You can't mess it up already more than you have, right? So, one thing that I often mess up is this wind up. If I'm going here and I just try to throw it fast, and this is faster than this, it's not a straight line. So do this a couple of times. If it's not a straight line, then what's gonna happen is it's gonna look all sloppy and floppy and move around all over the place. So your goal is to let go of your nunchuck when it's on a straight line. When it's here, so when it spins, it's there. But if you let go and like one's up here, then it's gonna kind of go crazy, right? Second, when you toss it, you wanna lift it up. Feel free to grab your nunchucks by the rope and lift up like this. If you lift it up and over, it's gonna go way out there, right? It's not gonna land in your direction. So when I let go, I'm lifting it straight up. I'm not going over here or over there, I'm lifting it up. So I let it go straight, I lift up. Let it go straight, lift up. And then I know where it's gonna land. Now the final thing that you can kind of mess up when it comes to tossing your nunchucks is you don't have enough speed. If I try to go very slowly and toss this, it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna get enough rotation. So oftentimes you'll see me kind of go like this, like a pendulum, to build up speed. I don't want to bring it all the way over here. I just want to bring it a little bit so I can go and get to this 45 degrees so my nunchuck is straight. Then I can let go, straight up, and catch. Just do this 180 toss. If you can get that down, you can do your full spin, right? But don't do it until you have it down. So then you got your other way too. And you start that the same way. 180, catch. Some of the coolest people I know when they do nunchuck, they're able to throw them up almost as if they're juggling, right? Where they go one. Oh. Master Murphy, if you know him well, he can go. He can do a toss from a hand roll. I saw that the other day. He was doing it with glow-in-the-dark nunchucks, and I'm struggling with it. But see, there's a lot of things you can do off of it. But as long as you keep that principle up, it's the same thing. If I wanted to do an inverse the other direction, see, I lifted it over. I do the same thing. I go up, 180, toss, but I catch it. All right. I've heard. So Miss Kimmett says nunchucks are painful. So you probably wrapped up your things. If you have wooden nunchucks, yeah, this is painful. I would get foam ones. Also, another way is you may just be spinning it and then, yeah, that's why we use foam, because it still hurts, but it hurts less. Also, whenever you're doing any tricks, even with these tosses, go fast enough so you can do the trick, but in the same vein, don't go speedy with it. Start off slow. Don't try to do your full hand roll into a toss if you don't have it down yet. So now I'm going to show you one more thing, and then I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, I got some more preparing before classes tonight. So the final thing is a UFO toss, tossing it sideways. So to do this, you can start from an inverse grip and just toss there. My suggestion is always to roll into it so you can kind of like wind it up like a toy. So let's practice our side, our hand rolls. To do that, bottom cam. So put it on the ground, and I'll move a bit back so you can see a bit better. I'm gonna roll it and do exactly what I did at the start. Here, turn, catch. Turn, catch. Once I get that down, go up a little bit off the ground. Maybe it's still kind of like close, but that way if you do drop it, it's not a long pickup time. You can just, okay, let's restart this. Once you get that down, go higher and higher and higher. Then eventually you'll be able to do it while you're sitting down here. Once you got that, start to stand up and do it. Let me show you what I'm doing in slow motion. I go 1, see, all I'm doing is open and close. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ooh, Miss Kimmett, you're... Yeah, foam nunchucks can hurt just as much, trust me, I know that well. Especially when you hit your eye, that's why we go slowly, right? So, we're here, practice that motion. I make it look a lot easier than it is, and that's just because I've been doing it for a long time. My hands know what it's doing better than my brain. That being said, you can always see how it feels like to start by switching hands. So I'm not as good with my left hand because I broke it, and I practiced nunchucks with only my right hand for like a year. And so I got really good at my right hand, but my left hand is lagging behind still. It's got some time. They used to be the same, but not anymore. That's why we practice with both hands, and that's why we start with our left. So 1, 2, 1, 2. See, that's, if you wanted to give yourself a confidence boost, that's how you do it. Watch Master Nick try to do it with his left hand. The only thing that's not true on with my left and right is kicking. I pulled my right hamstring, so I'm a better left kicker than I am a right kicker. And then also with bow staff I'm ambidextrous. I can use either hand pretty much the same. So we got these back and forths. 1, 2. If you don't have it down, that's fine. You're welcome to move on to the toss, but this is something that you can just kind of work on. Keep it close to the ground, practice it. So I'm over here, I'm in an inverse grip, meaning my thumb is pointing up, away from my nunchuck. It's on my hip. Now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave my shoulder behind, but twist my hip and, my hip and my kind of toes too, forward. Then once my hip hits forward, I'm gonna release my shoulder, bring it to the side, spin. Remember, we're gonna treat this toss like we did the other ones. Get it to a 180 degree, let go, and toss. So I'm here, whoa. I'm only doing 180s. You'll find that this one is probably a bit harder. And if you do it wrong, you'll do bird syndrome. You kind of saw me do it there. See how it's kind of flapping like a bird? You want it completely straight. I'll get there. See, I need to work on my tosses too. Spin a little bit. So I'm here. I'm here. 1, leave my shoulder behind, let go, toss. Oh man. Also, I probably shouldn't have had something greasy before I came on today. I had a steak burrito with cheese and like catching one. So, 1, 2. If you do it right, it shouldn't be like a bird and it should be flat. Do I actually have some chain nunchucks around here? I thought I did. I don't, but I have ones with a little bit more weight on them, which should help. So I'm here, 1. There's still a rope, but there we are. So when you toss, keep it flat, let go at the 180, let go. Remember, it's just a hand roll that you let go early. Now, with your UFO toss, it's important that you have your hand waiting kind of by your belt to catch it. If you don't, it's going to end up on the ground like mine just did. So I'm here every time. Have your hand flat, make sure it comes into itself. Best instructor is the one that struggles, right? Or that has struggled. Maybe not the one that's currently. 1, 2. Once it gets around, 1, toss. What you'll find is you're going to drop it a lot right now, just like I'm dropping it a lot. When you don't practice consistently, this, or if you haven't ever practiced this before, you're going to struggle a little bit. The more you practice, the more you'll get used to it spinning and twirling so you can catch it better. And if it is something that you want to get really good at, get a good pair of nunchucks. They will make a world of difference. There we go. Now I'm warming up a little bit. And now time for me to trade off because I only have one of these. Back to my blue nunchucks. So, to end off today's class, my overtime, I am way over time, okay. To end off today's class, what I want you to do this week, is start practicing some of these moves and start practicing them together. I know I mention this every time, but you know that you've gotten really good at nunchuck when you're able to do things simultaneously without thinking about it, right? These moves are made to be put together, every single one of them. You can do inverses, to shoulder tucks, to your hand rolls. These moves are made for each other. Start messing around. Start having fun. I heard that the Just family has been watching us. The Just family is a family of 3. And the middle child, his name is John Paul. His dad came in the other day to buy something. And he said, I cannot catch him without nunchucks. Everywhere he goes, he walks around with them, practicing. Just spinning them around, doing the things that I'm doing. Just kind of relaxing, getting used to these moves. That's how you know you're getting good, because you want to do it, and you're doing it without thinking it. It's a fun thing. If you have some free time at home, I know school's finishing up for most kids. Start just messing around with nunchucks in the garage. Don't break anything, but have some fun. Trust me, this is a lot more fun than video games once you get it down. And that's coming from somebody who loves video games. All right. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I will see you at tonight's classes. Yeah, we're going to have classes for everybody tonight. We're going to do it in the studio with other kids, so it's going to be quite fun. I can't wait to see you guys there. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time. Hey, Kaylin, I will see you at the 6:30 class. As a reminder, it is at PAMA. It is at PAMA, not at UMAC. I just wanted to confirm that you knew that. But yeah, I cannot wait to see you in class. Oh, and I'm glad to see you've mastered everything, Kaylin.